It's the early 2010s, and it seems everywhere you look, there's Russell Brand, starring in Hollywood films like Get Him to the Greek, headlining comedy specials like Russell Brand Messiah Complex.
You know that an immigrant is just someone who used to be somewhere else.
And strutting across the red carpet as the husband and arm candy of pop superstar Katy Perry.
At a certain point, it seemed as if Russell Brand was going to be the next big thing. He was married to Katy Perry. He was getting comedy deals. He was being courted by movie producers. Everyone, for a while, wanted to work with Russell Brand.
But Russell Brand of 2025 is facing very serious charges for his alleged behavior from the past. Today, prosecutors in the UK authorized police to charge Brand with multiple sexual offenses involving 4 different women. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service writing in a statement, in part, "We have concluded that Russell Brand should be charged with offenses including rape, sexual assault, and indecent assault. These relate to reported non-recent offenses between 1999 and 2005 involving 4 women." The Metropolitan Police then announcing that charges have been filed.
Russell Brand is facing 4 unique charges, and the most serious of them is rape. That has a penalty of up to life in prison. But sexual assault, for example, is also a serious charge where the maximum is up to 10 years in prison.
Brand responding to the charges online.
I was a fool, man. I was a fool before I lived in the light of the Lord. I was a drug addict, a sex addict, and an imbecile. But what I never was a rapist. I've never engaged in non-consensual activity. I pray that you can see that by looking in my eyes.
The charges come after police launched an investigation into Brand following allegations of rape, sexual assault, and emotional abuse made against him in 2023 in a report by the Times of London, Sunday Times, and Channel 4. 4 women claimed they were assaulted by Brand between 2006 and 2013. One of the accusers says she was just 16 at the time of the alleged assault. They spoke anonymously in the 2023 Channel 4 documentary, Russell Brand in Plain Sight.
I was pushing him away, and so I ended up having to punch him really hard in the stomach to get him off. And I was crying, and he said, "Oh, I only want to see your mascara run anyway."
It's unclear as to whether or not the same 4 individuals who are a part of this criminal complaint would be the same that we learned about in the 2023 documentary. And the reason for that is in the documentary, the timeline is anywhere between 2006 to 2013. But what the CPS has put out is that the time frame there is from 1999 to 2005. And so could it be the same people? Yes.
Brand denied the accusations at the time, posting on his social media.
Amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. During that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual.
I think the way that he responded to these allegations, I think it's a little bit of a mixed bag, because while he does deny that these things happened, he also acknowledges that there was a period of time in his life that was chaotic.
While it's unclear what connection today's filing has to do with the previous allegations, the criminal charges are the first Russell Brand could be facing in court. Brand got his start as a radio and TV personality in the UK. Here he is on MTV in the early 2000s. People started to learn his name from his charismatic comedy in breakout hit films like Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
My ex-boyfriend.
Oh, right, hey, I'm Alder Snow.
I know who you are, yeah, you're very, very famous.
Yeah, I am, for my sins.
And voicing Dr. Nefario in several of the Despicable Me movies.
Some fella just stole a pyramid.
These were films that were popcorn movies, or well received by audiences. It almost felt like you were seeing a fictionalized version of who Russell Brand actually is in real life.
Releasing a New York Times best-selling autobiography, My Bookie Book, in 2007, which chronicled his public battle with addiction. Something he discussed with former Nightline anchor Bill Weir in 2010.
When did it bottom out? When did you realize you had to make a change?
I'd lost my job at MTV because of some inappropriate, cracking-juiced on-screen lunacy. They said if you continue taking drugs at the rate you are, within 6 months you'll be dead, in prison, or in a lunatic asylum. I considered all 3 options, and I thought, lunatic asylum, that'll probably be horrible. Death, well, no one knows yet what that entails. And prison, not for with these eyebrows, I don't think so. So I thought, get off the drugs.
Was it difficult?
It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
In 2009, Brand took center stage hosting the Video Music Awards, where his flirtation with Katy Perry led to a real-life romance.
What was it about Katy that touched you?
I think I was growing up anyway, Bill. Eventually I wanted a companion, a friend, so it's the most normal relationship I've ever had. Like the other day, seriously, we were getting ready, Bill, to go out. She goes, "Oh, you're wearing that shirt, are you?" I went, "Yeah." Bill, I did not wear that.
A little more than a year after getting together, they married in a lavish wedding in India. But just 14 months after tying the knot, he and Katy Perry divorced. Their breakup documented in Perry's 2012 documentary, Part of Me. The heart-wrenching scene showing the moment she says Brand asked her for a divorce via text right before she went on stage for a show.
There is a viral moment in Katy Perry's documentary where she finds out that Russell Brand no longer wants to be married, and she's very emotional, she's crying, and then she snaps to it, puts on her game face, and goes out and performs.
Brand recently commenting on his podcast, Stay Free, about their breakup.
And the reasons that our marriage didn't work are the normal human reasons. Marriages don't work, and I have nothing but respect for her, even though I obviously disagree with her political views.
Brand's own political views in recent years have leaned conservative. He's posted photos on Instagram from his visit to President Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. He's also talked about his commitment to Christianity in a recent interview with Sean Hannity on Fox News.
Since becoming Christian, I recognize that many of the principles that were made clear to me in 12-step recovery reach a kind of fulfillment, continuation, and elevation.
There's been a colossal change in Russell Brand's public image. He went from being this yogi, wellness, kind of hippie, funny guy guru to now being this Trump-inspired, hanging out with Fox News hosts, Christian conservative. Significant difference.
Brand is expected in court for the first time on May 2nd. Much like the U.S., if the case against Russell Brand does go to trial, it'll be the prosecution's burden to prove each and every element of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt in order to convict Russell Brand.